What's up, fellas? Let's get into it, bro. You already know. Nova, I'm gonna say it again. Nova's been up to some things this week. And actually, these things aren't necessarily just from this week. There's a few things from this week. Like this video right now, I got no fucking clue when that was from. But I thought the diaper boy shit was kind of funny, so I figured I'd put that in there. Anyway, yeah, so the main thing for today's video, we're going to be going over Nova Online getting exposed by his coworker. Now, this coworker, he made a video probably a week or two ago, the first part of it, where he was saying, yeah, I used to work at Denny's when Nova worked at the old Denny's job, and here's all the shit that he's done and all this and that. So, yeah, now you might be wondering, oh, I thought you just made a video saying that Nova worked at Denny's again. I got no fucking clue, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I did think that he did because of that stupid comment he left, but I have no clue now. So there's two parts to the whole him getting exposed videos and everything, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. This first thing I wanted to check out here, it's Nova Online. He got sent to Scientology camp. No, but he was getting, I guess, papers sent to him to his address in the mail about Scientology. So that's the first thing we're going to get into. Now, before we start, I do want to mention, I did see Bloodspeth made a video. The guy who did the Uncle Drew interview and everything, he just uploaded a video like a day or two ago about this exact topic. Now, I'm not saying that, obviously the commentary, lolcow community, everyone's making videos. If you're making a video on Nova, you're making a video on this. But I just didn't want people to be like, oh, you copied his video one for one. I was creating this video like a day after his came out. I haven't even watched his, to be honest. But anyway, let's get into this Nova going to Scientology camp or whatever. Let's see it.
Bitch ass trolls tried to sign me up for fucking Scientology bullshit. It's a cult. Here's what I gotta say to that. Never again.
Yeah, so Nova, I guess the trolls, whoever it may be, wanted to sign him up for Scientology, so they sent some papers in the mail to him about Scientology. Now, I just want to say a couple things here. First of all, Nova's wearing a lanyard. I don't know, for some reason the first thing I thought was those old like Mr. Fogg lanyards where you fucking hook your vape to it and have your vape hanging around your neck. But anyway, Nova don't vape. So second of all, look at his hair, look how greasy it is. Third of all, I'm gonna have to have another clip put in here because this one's too short. But dude, how was he so mad? Why was he so mad over this shit? That's what I want to know. Why did it piss him off so much? And one last thing, I find it really funny when people like TikTok, mainly TikTok, but any type of social media now, where they set up a camera and then do something. Like he was so mad he had to set up the camera, pause the video, set up the camera, and then record himself opening the trash can and throwing that shit as hard as he could in it. It's like, I don't even know. But anyway, let's get on with the video. This next one we got, it has to do with the last video, the pink pineapple video that we were talking about. He's using some pink pineapple to cook something up. So let's take a look at his beautiful kitchen real quick.
Let's make pink pineapple sweet and sour chicken. This is gonna be one of the most flavorful recipes I will ever make. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of sweet, sour, and a little bit of spicy as well. I'm gonna go ahead, season the wok with a little bit of avocado oil. Alright, we're gonna now go ahead and add our chicken to our wok. Now we're gonna season the chicken with a little bit of seasoning salt. And for the spicy, we're gonna add a little bit of sambal. When your chicken is nearly done, throw in some pink pineapple from a previous video. Not too much, just like about a ring or two. And go ahead and let it cook in there with the chicken. Now it's time to add Uncle Roger's favorite ingredient, MSG. Not too much, just like a little sprinkle, maybe about 2 teaspoons-ish. But yeah, it might be a little too much. Maybe like a teaspoon or so. You can't see it on camera, but there is a lot of wok coming up. That is exactly what you want to see when you're cooking something like Chinese food. Well, Americanized Chinese food. Alright, it's almost done. Now it's time to add some sauce. Okay, since I currently don't have a lot of time right now, I'm just going to use a pre-bottled sauce. And now you would normally serve this with rice, but it is currently 9:30 in the morning and I don't feel like cooking rice right now. Oh man, I really hope that sambal pulled through. Perfectly cooked. Super juicy, and I get the ever slightest hint of sambal. Really good. Definitely make this. Nova Universe, signing off.
So, pretty much, just the state of this dude's kitchen, like, I don't know what to say about his kitchen. Really, you'd think that if you're making multiple videos, you'd want things to get better, right? And the way things are looking now, like, he did a whole series cleaning his kitchen. I think he did a live stream where he cleaned his whole kitchen. Like, he did dishes for like 2 hours straight. It was probably the most work he's ever done in his life. And look at it now. He only made enough room for that fucking wok to fit on the fucking oven. Look at the dirty ass grease stains and everything. And the amount of the amount of seasoning he's using on that shit. Maybe it's not a whole, I don't know. I cook chicken, but I don't use seasoning salt, first of all. I don't know. Whatever. He drowned that shit in seasoning. And I don't even know what he was trying to make. Pink pineapple chicken. I don't know what that's supposed to taste like. I'd assume sweet in some sense, but he didn't say nothing like that. But yeah, so really his kitchen's destroyed. You know, he did the whole cleaning series and this is the result of it. Pretty much nothing. Now, he didn't even mention the pineapple being in this, so I think he forgot about it halfway through. He just ended up making chicken. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and one last thing I wanted to get to tell y'all about. He was too lazy to make rice. Dude, rice is the easy, dude, you don't even, oh my god, I don't even know what to say about that shit, man. He was too lazy to make any rice. He needs to just fuck rice, you know? Alright, let's get into really the big part of this video. This next one, this will be Nova Online getting exposed by his former coworker at Denny's, part 1 out of 2. Now, if I remember correctly, part 2 is the better one. So let's get into it so we can get through part 1 and 2. Let's go.
Alright, this is the story of how I worked with Nova Online, aka Gabe. Okay, so my first interaction with Gabe was when I went to reapply to Denny's. I basically got my job back in no time. The GEM was too lazy to delete my information anyway. So I see him and he's got his hair tied back, you know, big belly. First time I ever see him. I never heard of him online before. And I work a couple shifts and I realized that he's just a weird kid. And he would play weird brain rot TikTok music in the kitchen over everyone else's music. He would consistently ask everyone, guess what? And then you would say what? And he'd say, these nuts. Pretty annoying. He was a prep cook, and in terms of his performance, it would be what you expect. He chose to hand slice every single tomato instead of using the slicer. He used wrong mixing containers to contain things, and never cleaned up his kitchen and put a lot of labor on the dishwasher. So the one time I wanted to deck this kid in the face was the day the water pipes broke. If you know me, you may know this story. And I've been working almost 10 hours at this point. And I'm trying to fix the mop room. I'm trying to clean it up. And this dude comes in here asking me to mop up a leaking water pipe. And I told him, bro, it's your workstation. It's your responsibility to clean this shit up. Like, it's the cook's responsibility to sweep their line. It's the dishwasher's responsibility to sweep their fucking dish pit. It's the prep cook's responsibility to mop up the water coming from the sink. Even if it's not your fault, you still gotta do it. And he just turns around, walks away, and says, thanks for the fucking help. Or, he said it in this voice, thanks for the fucking help. I just wanted to run up and punch the back of his head so bad, but I had to keep my job. I was running 2 jobs at that time, I think. Around that time, I think I had quit my other job. But yeah, that's my experience working with Nova. 1 out of 10 experience.
So that guy had quite a bit to say about Nova. Now, the first thing I want to get into basically the first thing he said was he easily got his job back at this Denny's. Now, we know that Nova did get fired from Denny's the very first time. And it's kind of under debate. I don't know. There's people are debating about this. I don't really know where he works. And, I seen this Smokey video the other day saying Smokey does know where he works. So maybe I just need to read in the comments that someone's probably outed it already. Hell, maybe Denny's is correct. I don't know. If anybody actually knows, let me know in the comments. Because, screw this guy. I mean Nova, not this guy. But what else did this guy say? So he was saying that Nova's not a very good worker. How could we have guessed that? He's not doing things that he's supposed to be doing. He's asking people to do his job for him. Like different things like that. I'm not surprised at all. The big word he said in there, responsibility. Can you imagine that Nova doesn't know responsibility? He's not a responsible person. Can you imagine that? I, you know, so what was the other thing? Yeah, he asked this dude for help, and Nova's like, thanks for the fucking help. Thanks for the fucking help. That was a little better. Anyway, yeah, there was one more thing. What'd he say? He was saying that he'd come up to him and say these nuts jokes all the time, like it's 2017 Vine type shit. Like 2017 may have even been old. Like I bet the fucking these nuts joke was old back then. I don't know. I don't know the timelines, but basically, this dude's like, yeah, Nova was a fucking weirdo. Everyone thought he's weird. He'd play this TikTok brain rot music. So it's really what everyone believed. Nova, he's like the walking embodiment of TikTok. So, yeah, let's get into the second part, because he gets a little deeper, and I think the second part's a little better. So let's see that.
But I have to make a part 2. And this is part 2. There is one thing I have to address. I still know people that work at that Denny's, and I heard about the death threats. I'm not defending Gabe, but Gabe does not work at that Denny's anymore, so there is no need to call my old job. Thank you. Alright, so me and my best friend and roommate have worked at Denny's with Gabe, and this is everything that me and him have compiled together, and I'm just gonna show it in one video. Alright, first off, when I first met him, I didn't know he had an online following. I didn't know he had an online presence at all. I just thought he was just some random autistic kid that I just happened to be working with. After I got my job back, my roommate sent me a screenshot of his TikTok, and I was like, oh, okay. He's just live streaming on TikTok or something. I didn't think he'd have a big following like that. I was very wrong, to say the least. Now, before I did find out about his big online persona, I'm pretty sure he got recognized on shift. Now that I connected the dots, I was deep in the dish pit, getting slammed, grand slammed, Denny's. So I'm in the dish pit. I see Gabe come from front of house, and I hear some dudes laughing. And then I hear our sweet old grandma waitress, Miss Lisa, come in and soothe Gabe and stuff because she was just a nice lady, nice to everyone. But I'm pretty sure he got recognized. Number 3, this was not confirmed by myself, but there are suspicions that he wore diapers to work. He also asked us guy coworkers if we wanted to work out with him, when I don't think he had a gym membership yet. I think he was like thinking about working out. This may have been the time he started posting himself in the gym. All right. He clocked out for being brought from the prep station to the line. This is a story from my roommate. So one evening, it's just my roommate and the night shift manager, and a whole bunch of people come in, and it's just the night shift manager and my roommate in the kitchen. So the night shift manager just says, "Fuck it," and puts Nova on the line. But Nova was like, "I'm not doing this shit," and just clocked out, which is probably the smartest thing I've seen him do ever. Yo mama jokes. Always asked yo mama jokes. This kind of coincided with these nuts. But he was always hit back with better yo mama jokes than his, always. Our GM at the time, who hired him, gave him a D's Nuts sweater and the Secret Santa, which I'm pretty sure she rigged. And lastly, he claimed he was watching his calories whilst ordering a slam burger after every shift. My last thing about Gabe is he was honestly pretty disrespectful on a regular basis. He had a Bluetooth speaker that looked like a disco ball on the top of it, and the quality of it was horrible. I'm pretty sure he got that for $8 off of TikTok fucking Shop, bro. He got everything he owned from TikTok Shop, and he was just wasting his money on those shipping fees. One thing I should mention is I worked with him from November of 2023 to about March-ish of, I can't remember. And the reason why I didn't post this for so long is I'm not the type of dude to like make TikToks or something, but I was just thinking right before I made the first video, what's the worst that could happen? What is he gonna do? I mean, Nova's fans, the little fan base that I think he has from what I've seen, might come after me, but I really don't care, honestly. And you can believe me or not believe me. Honestly, wish I took more photos. This Paw Patrol water and this picture of him from behind is the only 2 things I got of him that are at least related to him, at least.
That was quite a bit to process. So let's get into it. I always say that shit. Let's get into it, dude. He fucking, first of all, this Paw Patrol picture, that's like apparently something he brought to work with him, I guess. He's gonna show you some other, or he did show you some other pictures towards the end of Nova working at Denny's. But pretty much, I think this one was a little crazy. So he's claiming that Nova didn't do hardly anything at work. You know, he's wearing diapers to work, which that's kind of just, he just said that. So he may have just said that, you know, just cause. Now, we all know it's Nova. So I would not be surprised at all if this dude was wearing diapers to work. But I wish he showed a little more evidence for that. Anyway, other things, you know, he's getting recognized on shift by, he's probably trolling people. This dude said that, you know, a nice lady was consoling him, basically. You know, and if you see this weirdo kid crying because he got made fun of, you're gonna console him. But I guarantee that lady didn't know about his TikTok history. So yeah, he's asking people if they want to work out. I I can't imagine. Like, imagine Nova posting some TikToks where it's like, me and my workout buddy. Today we are going to be going to the gym and fuck, I don't even know. I can't imagine Nova trying to spot somebody, dude. He'd be a murderer. It would be like one of them cases where he's considered the fucking the aggressor in it because he couldn't get the bar off this dude's. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back into it. He's clocking out because he's being told you can't be on this shift or on this position. You gotta be on a different position. Depending on what it is, I can understand that. This dude said it was the smartest thing he's ever done. So, you know, that might be true. Anyway, he's always saying yo mama jokes, man. He was saying that goes in with the D's nuts jokes. And it's just the Vine, TikTok, fucking band kid humor going around. So I don't know. The GM was giving him gifts that had to do with D's nuts jokes. Like, he was talking about all the things he owned was from TikTok Shop. I guarantee this thing came from TikTok Shop. Like, what year is it that people are still making D's nuts clothing items? You know what I mean? And why haven't we seen Gabe wearing this? I'd want to know that. Why haven't we seen him wearing this shit? Anyway, last few things, you know, Nova was rude. He's a big old mean butt. He's big fat meanie or whatever that. Someone please tell me there's a drawing of the big fat meanie thing from SpongeBob, except it's Nova online. He's already that round, so it wouldn't be very hard to change that. But what last thing, he said he was watching his calories, even though he was fucking eating a Grand Slam burger every night when he got off. You know what? I don't think I've ever had a Grand Slam from Denny's. So Nova's putting me on here, dude. I'm probably gonna get one sometime soon, and just to see what they're like. Now, other than that, I really don't have much more for you today. Oh, except how the fuck did I forget this, dude? Death threats. People are sending death threats to Nova Online's previous Denny's. Now that basically proves to me that Nova does not work at that Denny's anymore. So I was saying he could have got hired back on. I don't think that's the case anymore. If he does work at a Denny's, it's got to be a different one. But I don't know. So once again, if y'all in the comments know what job he's actually working now, let me know. Or honestly, there's another thing too. I've been having some trouble finding previous clips, like archived clips of Nova or, you know, anybody really. So if there's anyone's got suggestions of where to find that type of shit, because I've been on Kiwi Farms, there's some good shit on there, but it's hard to maneuver around that. So, you know, anything, I've heard like Wikitubia is one of them. I don't know if I could figure that out or not. I feel like I'm old or something trying to figure that out. But anyway, yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. We'll have more Nova content in the future, as always. You know, it's gonna keep coming. As long as he's posting content, I'm gonna be making content on him, and then probably even afterwards. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all have a good night, a good day, a good whatever, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
That's it.